Hello and welcome to all you Sagittarians. How are you doing, Sagittarius? It's my rising sign as well. So I have a lot of affinity with Sagittarius. Now, what is going on in December? Well, no eclipses anymore. No eclipses anymore, but quite some nice things going on. And quite some new things coming in, planets that are going to transit into one house for quite a while, and that means something. So let's get started. Maybe let's get started with the emphasis of your second house for the month of December. So your second house is the house of Capricorn. It's the house where Pluto is at this moment. And it's the house of your self-worth. And it's the house of not only your self-worth, but also on another level, it's your money house. It's what is coming in. And a lot of Sagittarians, especially the Sagittarians risings, who have got Pluto in the second house, have had difficult times with money, and also their value system that is totally changing drastically. And but what good news is there? Well, of course, this is a very general horoscope, but I hope for a lot of Sagittarians, having Venus in your second house isn't a bad thing at all. So for those of you who are trying to earn a little bit more money, for those of you who are trying to attract a little bit more money, for those of you who are trying to gain a little bit more self-worth, it is a good time, because Venus is going to be there up until April. So it's quite a while that Venus will be there, and it's going backwards as well. Not necessarily a bad thing. It's just reflecting that you as a Sagittarian will spend more time on trying to attract money and trying to gain more self-worth. So I think that's a very nice start for you. So it's going retrograde as from the 22nd of December, so Venus. So around that time you will rethink how you can attract more money, and the chances are higher than normal that you will attract a little bit more because of the positive influence there of Venus. Now, another thing that is quite special is that Mars is going to be for a long time in Libra. So also in December, up until 8 months further in 2014, Mars is going to be for that long in Libra. Now, that is also positive for Sagittarians because it's in your 11th house. 11th house is it's one of the nicest houses. The 11th house is a house of, actually a communication house. So for those who work in communications, internet, media and all of that, it's good because you're going to spend a lot of action there. You're going to spend a lot of action to connect with other people, to connect with like-minded people, to maybe to start something, that has to do with groups. So where a lot of like-minded people are coming together, maybe you are going to take the leading role of that as well. That's also the 11th house. Or maybe you're going to be more active with friends. You're going to spend more time with friends. But as it is a very long time, 8 months, I think it will be a time for the Sagittarians of also that other thing that is important for the 11th house, which is your aspirations. The 11th house is the house that Sagittarians mostly like. It's a house of the future, and the Sagittarian needs goals to put those, arrows into the future. So a lot of Sagittarians will think about, not only in December, but will think to improve their future, and therefore have a positive attitude, and therefore probably will encounter what they want, because it's such a long time that this focus is this Mars. Mars is where we put our action in. So you're going to put a lot of focus in that 11th house of hope. And so maybe you are a Sagittarian you're going to probably have a little bit more of hope with Mars in there. So, so that's interesting. Another thing that's very nice is that especially around the second week of December, but you will feel it for the whole month, is that Jupiter, which is your ruler in the 8th house, is trining Saturn in the 12th house. This is really, really nice because the 8th house and the 12th house are complicated houses for a Sagittarian. You know, these are water houses, and a Sagittarian is a fiery sign that wants to continue, and it doesn't want to reflect too long. It wants to gather information and it wants to gather knowledge, but it doesn't want to stand just still and going over the same emotions over and over again. Now this trine with Jupiter and Saturn, this 12th house, which is connecting the 12th house and the 8th house in a very nice flow, shows that there's going to be balance, more balance for the Sagittarian, because you are Jupiter. And it trines Saturn, so it shows that you're going to feel a bit more in balance. You feel a bit more mature. You feel the balance between the new and the old. And that is a nice thing for the Sagittarians to have, to feel that balance there. So feeling the balance of the things that the things that are not new, but there are still patterns that are still interesting for us, are in line with the new things that we want. So this is quite unique and very nice. Now, is there something difficult going on this month? Because I have a Sagittarius rising. I see things very optimistically, but there is a bit of a challenge going on around Christmas time and around New Year's Eve. But I don't think it's going to be that bad for the Sagittarians. You know why? Because it's in nice houses. So on Christmas, if you celebrate that, Mars is conjunct the moon. And Mars is action and the moon is emotion. So emotions can run a bit high. But it's in the 11th house, which is about ideas, inspirations and aspirations. So it's probably you're going to talk about your aspirations, which I don't think is a bad thing at all. And around New Year's Eve, there is a new moon. Isn't that fitting in so well? With New Year's Eve, a fresh start, a new beginning of the year, there is also a new moon reflecting it. The sun and the moon conjunct in Capricorn, very close to Pluto. So it's going to be a powerful new beginning for everyone. And for you again, it's that second house. Is that house of your self-worth, that house of your money. There are things changing there. There are things really, the efforts that you did for quite a while, the more you did the efforts, the more chances are likely that there is going to be something brand new starting, and that not only relates to money but also to your self-confidence, so which is really, really nice. So that's it. And Mercury is going very fast. Mercury, which is the ruler of your other house, the other person close to you, or the other people that you encounter, is going to be in your sign, which is really, really nice. It means that you are going to be very talkative. You're going to talk a lot, and people will listen. People will listen to you, and you like that, Sagittarians, don't you? It's also going to shift into your second house of Capricorn. So again, that thinking about your self-worth. I keep on repeating myself, but it's how it is. Wishing you all the best for December, you nice fellow Sagittarians. And if you want a special new reading, I've got one available at a nice price. Just check the link out below. And I think it's the time of the year, isn't it, to have a reading, to have new, what is the flavor of the next year, for instance. But anyways, thank you for listening, you Sagittarians, and see you next month. Bye-bye.